Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Saturday, May 20th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? May I please have the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread. First card that we are starting our day off with today. We love her. We love seeing her. We have a Queen of Pentacles, and she's in her upright, friends. She is in her upright, which is wonderful because I don't know if you've been keeping score, but we've been seeing the Queen of Pentacles a lot recently, but girlfriend has been in her reversal for quite a bit of time. This will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy for today, bearing in mind that that is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine today, we are seeing that today is a day of concentration on your stability. But more so than anything, we've been seeing for the feminine energy that there has been a lot of anxiety around being stable, around the spaces and places where you focus your feeling of security within. So if that's relationships, that's looking for stability in relationships right now, thank you so much for the gift. If that's in finances, there may have been a lot of concentration around finances this past week. And we did see here, I must point out that the feminine energy flipped into the reversal of the Queen of Pentacles due to the fact that the masculine energy initially started this week with that King of Pentacles in its reversal. So we saw here that in a way, a lot of this was kind of picked up from or being reflected from the energy that was coming through from the masculine energy towards the feminine. We do see here today that today is a day of the feminine energy feeling more grounded, feeling more secure in the choices and the moves that they make today. While for masculine, this could be a lot of orientation right now towards a manifestation of feminine that you feel and identify that is in this space of being stable, secure, grounded. Let's continue to get the cards for our first 5-card spread. Next card that we have coming through in our cards right now is, I think that's upright, looks upright to me. We have here, oh my goodness, Page of Pentacles in its reversal. This will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine, I need to point out something that's very important right now. Feminine is feeling grounded and stable, working on this stability that they've been working on all week. And today is going to come through for feminine today as feeling more stable than you may have felt throughout the week. Even in the space of some energy not coming towards you with that stable offer, even in the face of observation around some situations or scenarios that you feel are not bringing that point of stability towards you right now. We see here for feminine, this is not creating the same anxiety as it may have caused in the past. Feminine has been doing this work to create this level of security and stability generated from within themselves right now. And that is why, even if there aren't some things coming through right now at the speed or the degree or even at the capacity that feminine requires, it's not necessarily bothering feminine that much. She's got this energy within her today. And as a result, not only does this mean that feminine is kind of moving unbothered by this at the moment, but also that feminine herself may be pulling back from things that are not necessarily giving her that same stability in kind. While for masculine energy right now, there is a moment today where, again, we've been seeing this. The masculine has been going through some situations or circumstances in their own immediate life that have been challenging their own feelings of stability, depending on where, as a masculine, you house that feeling. So if it's in your finances this week, you've been feeling a lot of anxiety around those. If you've been feeling them in relationships, you've been feeling them around those. Anywhere you kind of generate that feeling for yourself has been a bit of a difficulty, and it has resulted in you being unable to come forward to the capacity and to the degree that you would ideally desire to right now. However, even though masculine is in this moment right now where they cannot give forth in the way or as tangibly as they may desire or express to, they are feeling that security still coming through right now around a manifestation of feminine that they recognize has this degree of stability within them at this point. So again, we are seeing a bit of a reflection point here, but masculine right now is really leaning towards the feminine right now for that stability. Feminine is generating it from within. Masculine right now not being able to come forward to the degree that they desire, but still feeling that evidence of stability around them right now in some external source. Continuing to get the first 5 of our 5-card spread right now. The next card we have coming through for today is Lovers. We love seeing this right now. This doesn't necessarily need to speak towards romantic partnerships. It certainly can, though. It really has to do with any of the partnerships that have a significant place or space of importance in your life. This analyzing right now, this concentration today for both masculine and feminine on what partnership means towards you, what a healthy partnership means, that feeling of reciprocity, that feeling of equal give and take, of creating something greater than the sum of the two parts, having that higher spiritual connection. And what we're really seeing right now for masculine and feminine is, for masculine, this is interpreting right now as a moment where you may be feeling at this moment that there are some situations or circumstances that are limiting you right now in your capacity or in your ability to come towards a feminine in some tangible way right now. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. However, masculine is still holding a lot of connection towards those partnerships, specifically because they still feel that stabilizing energy from feminine right now. They recognize that the partnership or connection point between the masculine and feminine is one that is based in the spiritual, not necessarily requiring them to come forward as much right now in the present, in the tangible. And so that orientation point, that connection is what is allowing them to continue to feel this stabilizing point in the partnership. While for feminine right now, there is a moment that you are currently experiencing where you are building right now your own stability. You are working very much on creating this sense of stability within you and manifesting this for yourself. Even in the space and places where you may be feeling like some outside energy isn't necessarily able to come forward towards you in some physical, tangible capacity right now. And this is going to feel a little bit different depending on where you fall for the feminine energy right now, because I see 2 different paths opening here. For some of the feminine right now, this is speaking about a potential connection right now with the masculine energy that isn't tangibly, practically able right now to come forward in a tangible way. But it is not bothering the feminine right now. We see that connection is still feeling secure, specifically because feminine is recognizing this higher spiritual union point between them and this energy that is built on things that are intangible. While for some of the feminine energy right now, this is a moment where you yourself are generating and creating this stability for yourself right now, and potentially even moving away right now, pushing back on some energy or just not paying much attention or care around some energies around you right now that you feel are not able to come forward in a tangible way. Specifically because, because this feminine collective here is accepting the fact that they are seeking that higher spiritual partnership, that they are looking for that to a high degree. And feminine is working on creating their own stability, which means they're not necessarily so stressed right now if someone isn't showing up for the feminine, because she has her eye focused on what she is trying to manifest. And if this isn't manifesting in the way that she wants to manifest, then she's perfectly fine letting it go as feminine keeps her orientation towards those higher divine partnerships. Continuing to get the cards for our first 5 spread, the next card that we have coming through right now, the 4th card in our first 5, is 2 of Wands in its reversal. This is a bit of the blockage point. I'm not necessarily that surprised to see this card arriving here. As a reminder, though, we are out of the Mercury retrograde. We are still caught in its shadow period. This can often still create some issues as it relates to communication, as it relates to planning, as it relates to travel, as it relates to some impracticalities arising up that cannot be controlled. So there is something here that is creating a bit of an obstruction point that has to be observed, potentially around some ideal partnerships at this moment. And this could be dealing with a lack of communication. This could be dealing with a lack of an ability to plan or coordinate. This could even be built on the fact that there is something here that feels like there is a separation point and block that needs to be observed and remedied. However, again, while we see this here, And it's going to feel a bit different depending on where you fall. For masculine right now, there is that feeling. This could be feeling like a lot of personal impracticality right now as it relates to your own ability to plan, specifically because there are some situations and circumstances in your own life right now that are not allowing you to be able to come forward in the tangible way that you would ideally desire right now. However, again, that focus is still on the ideal partnership, on the divine partnership, feeling and generating right now that feeling towards a manifestation of feminine that you feel is stable even in the wake of something like this occurring. While for feminine energy right now, we're seeing two different issues. We are seeing either half of this collective right now in some sort of partnership with a masculine energy that is not necessarily able to tangibly, practically come into partnership or communication with them to the degree that you would ideally desire right now, but you're not letting that serve as a big stumbling block, though it is something that needs to be addressed because you feel that higher union is happening between you both right now. While for some of the feminine energy right now, this is the opposite. This is feminine building around your own stability with a manifestation, desiring that divine manifestation, and just letting anyone who cannot come forward in a practical way go because you don't see that with them. You don't necessarily see that energy is capable of having that type of partnership for you. So for both sides of the feminine collective right now, the main source of focus is stability and divine partnership. And the same is such for masculine. So a little bit more difficult in the masculine space right now practically, but we still see that union is very much on the minds of both feminine and masculine right now. Final card for our first 5 spread today before we start to get some clarification. Geez Louise, what is going on with the planning, my friends? What is going on with the planning? This is some retrograde shadow stuff if I've ever seen it. This is a doubling down on that difficulty. There is that anxiety point here, and this is the trouble point that still needs to be addressed, either potentially towards some unions that are imminent. For masculine right now, there is something that you are practically observing about your own life right now that is creating something of a blockage point as it relates to potentially having this higher divine union, potentially seeing right now a feminine energy that you're hoping to build this around, feeling that there is a lot of potential and possibility there, but something about the practicality of the situation, specifically from your side, is creating this blockage point. And the problem is, it's not only creating a short-term problem that we're recognizing here with an ability to plan and communicate the way that you would ideally desire right now, but it's also affecting the long-term plans because there seems like this isn't a problem that is going to fix itself. This is something that needs to be addressed because it's messing up not just the present, but the long-term planning and coordination. While for feminine right now, this is that same point of anxiety and observation because, again, for two different places for the feminine right now, two different for a collective split in the feminine energy. For some of the half of the feminine energy right now, there is this moment where you are concentrating on your own stability. You are keeping your manifestations focused on those divine unions, on that ideal divine partnership. And you are looking right now at some of the energy that's around you and just necessarily being like, ready to just push it away, ready to let go of it, ready to reject it to a certain extent, because you're just recognizing that this energy is not coming forward in a tangible way and that there's no solving that in the future, that there's no way that you can see a desired result of this partnership because this energy can't come forward in this capacity. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment where there is some energy around you right now that though they cannot practically come forward to you right now, there's some very practical, specific reasons that are blocking them from being able to be in immediate partnership with you. You are still holding this union with some deep consideration because you are experiencing the fact that you think that there is a possibility of a higher spiritual union happening, but there's some stuff that needs to be adjusted. There are some things that need to be fixed because there is something that is immediately causing an immediate inability to meet as frequently or be together as much as you would desire, be able to communicate as much as you would desire. And that is not just a short-term problem, but you don't see any change in sight. Something must be adjusted to allow this to come into the tangible space. Now, let's start to get some clarification as it relates to these cards right now. Clarification between our Queen of Pentacles in combination with our Page of Pentacles in its reversal. For feminine right now, a lot of concentration towards your own stability, building the stability, feeling the stability, even in the face of some energy around you that you feel is not coming forward with that stability, ideally in the way that you would desire. Well, for masculine right now, this is you tangibly feeling in your own space that there's something you need to correct or amend in your life that is creating this feeling of instability and this inability to give forth right now, even with the manifestation of a feminine around you right now that is feeling stable, that is feeling solid, that you do want to come forward with, confirmation horn, that you do want to be able to approach in this way, but you're just not able to right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with We Like This Girlfriend in its reversal. 3 of Swords in its reversal. This is why there is something still happening here. Because for feminine, this is a moment of healing, building this stability for yourself right now, being able to generate this feeling of stability and security within yourself instead of finding it through outside sources or connection points. That is where your healing is coming from. That is the act of healing. You recognize that is how you're healing. And that is why you're not necessarily feeling heartbroken right now as it relates to some energy not being able to provide that stability for you in this moment. Again, this is going to feel a little bit different depending on which side of this feminine collective that you fall into right now. For some of the feminine collective right now, you are healing your own abandonment wounds as it relates to stability. You're learning to create this sense of stability within yourself, which is why you're finding now that if someone isn't able to show you that immediate stability, you're still willing to kind of allow or entertain it right now because you are feeling like it is still restorative. You are feeling that healing taking place. You do not need that energy to create that stability for you in this moment. And therefore, this is something that is still feeling healing and productive, even if it isn't coming through as tangibly as you would desire. While for masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you, and then for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment where you are just willing to release and relinquish someone that is not coming forward with that substance, with that tangible ability to create that support for you right now, because you're not holding on to them. You're not waiting for them to give it forth. You have found that stability within you. You do not feel that you need to race to a partner right now to feel secure. You're saying to yourself, I don't need to choose someone that isn't giving me what I need because I have it within me. And that is also a point of your healing. For some of the energy right now, this is holding someone that cannot tangibly come forward in this moment. While for the other half of the collective, this is simply saying, I'm ready to let this go because I don't see any future here. And that's okay because I've created it within myself right now. For masculine energy right now, again, this is a moment that while you may be feeling right now that you cannot tangibly come forward towards a feminine that you feel and recognize, create some sense of stability around you right now, there is still a moment that you are healing, that there is something here that is requiring you to heal. You are feeling in a way that as you go through this healing process for yourself right now, potentially even healing from whatever left you in this space or place of feeling some of this instability within your own self right now. You are feeling the support of this feminine energy that is manifesting around you, that is able to generate this feeling of stability within them, and that you yourself are also relying on right now as you continue forward on your healing process. Let's continue to get clarification on these cards between our Page of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with the Lover's energy, masculine energy. This is probably feeling pretty darn frustrating right now, bearing in mind that that's not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, because we're seeing here masculine has their focus right now on partnership, on higher partnership, on divine partnership, seeing potentially even some example of it around them that they want to move forward towards right now, but literally feeling blocked and unable to, tangibly being unable to go forward towards that connection or those connections right now. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that you are keeping your eye right now very much focused on divine partnership. Now, Again, depending on where you align on the feminine energy right now, you either fall on one or two sides of this right now. For feminine right now, this is recognizing and feeling like there is a divine partnership that is imminent right now, and that there is an energy that is aligned to that, but feeling some frustration point because you're recognizing that there's something about the energy. While you may see the opportunity for this divine partnership occurring, there's something tangibly and practically that is standing in the way of actually manifesting it in the physical space right now. While for some of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment that your focus is entirely and only and specifically on those higher divine partnerships. And you are pushing away anyone that is showing you in some capacity or degree that they cannot line up or come into union with you in that capacity and degree. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. Babes, we love this energy. This Taurus new moon did feminine well. This Taurus new moon has done feminine well and masculine well, just in different ways. Let's discuss. So for feminine right now, this is what happens when the feminine is feeling stable. This is what happens when that feminine energy is finding that stability within themselves. What happens when feminine finds that stability source within themselves? Feminine starts saying, I don't chase, I attract. I have the stability within myself. I don't need to go looking around for this. This is something that I create within myself. I just need to bring this out. I just need to create more of this. I just need to create more of this for myself. For feminine right now, again, depending on where you align on the feminine collective, this is going to hit different depending on where you fall. I see a split right here. For some of the feminine energy right now, again, there is a feeling of imminent union right now, potentially even around a manifestation of masculine, though you feel that there is this possibility for this union coming into being right now. There's something about them not being able to tangibly come forward in the way that you would desire, but it's not bothering you. You're willing to wait. You're sitting pretty because you are recognizing, you're like, I don't need to do anything. I just need to enjoy this feeling. I need to enjoy this feeling that I'm creating with this person. This will sort itself out. We will sort this out because I feel this higher connection, this higher partnership. I feel stable and supported right now. And this is making me come into my Empress Vogue. I am willing to sit and wait and just enjoy and luxuriate in this feeling that we are creating between us, even if I have to be patient for it. While for the other half of the feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you are building this stability for yourself right now. You are absolutely manifesting. You are manifesting like a maniac right now towards this divine partnership. You have your eye on the prize and you are pushing away. You are being unbothered. I don't even think pushing is the word. You're just almost ignoring or being unbothered by anyone that isn't coming forward correct or isn't coming forward with the showing what they can offer right now. Thank you so much for the gift because you're in your manifestation mode. You're in your flow. You are feeling stable and you're recognizing that when you're feeling stable, you start bringing good things towards you. So you're letting your vibe run this right now, being like, I am not chasing after a darn person because I'm the Empress. I just need to sit pretty here. I need to generate the stability. If I create it for myself, it will find me. I will attract the divine unions that I need to attract by being my most beautiful embodiment of myself and what I desire at this moment right now. For masculine, this is a moment, I will point out, this is where I see the masculine. This is feeling a lot different because for the masculine right now, this is probably embodying as a feeling of profound frustration right now. Why is it profound frustration? Because look at these cards, masculine. Look at these cards. We are seeing here a masculine energy that is sitting here and is seeing a manifestation of feminine around them right now. And I'm going to say it again. This is going to be even more there's now two different sides of the masculine collective, and it's really frustrating for both of y'all right now. Because for masculine right now, we are either seeing that masculine has their attention focused right now on either a singular manifestation of feminine embodying both of these qualities, or God help us all, two manifestations of feminine around them right now embodying these qualities, which are The feeling of a feminine as either for some of the masculine, this is a single feminine that is both stable, that is in their stability, and they are the object of their desire, that they are feeling that desire from. For the other part of the masculine collective right now, this is feeling that there is a feminine energy on one side that is incredibly stable, incredibly secure. There's another one that you would just see are feeling a lot of passion for, a lot of desire for. You are feeling like divine union is imminent here, that these connections are creating these higher spiritual unions, either a singular one or maybe even multiple ones right now. But you can't go towards any of them. You can't go towards any of them. There's something practically stopping the masculine energy right now in being able to go towards any of the feminine energy, even though they see it imminent in front of them. This is like that masculine has this like face pressed against the glass today and is just staring at the other side and being like, darn it, what the heck? So, continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Lover's card and the Two of Wands in its reversal. So, this is that sticking point for masculine and feminine right now. Feeling this energy, the divine partnership that you're either trying to manifest towards yourself right now, or that you're feeling is imminent right now, but also feeling that there is some blockage, there is some practical, tangible issues as it relates to what you are trying to build and what you're able to actually do right now. All of that Mercury retrograde shade just being thrown on the whole kit and caboodle. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. Distract yourself. What's the solution? What's the solution here? What's the solution when you can't necessarily connect? You distract yourself is what we're seeing here. Again, what we're really seeing here is, again, masculine and feminine. It's going to feel a little bit different right now. There is something coming through right now for masculine and feminine. For feminine right now, this is a moment that either you're trying to manifest these unions, this higher partnership for yourself right now. And again, this is going to fall in two different places depending on where you fall with the split in the feminine energy right now. Either for feminine right now, this is an actual practical moment right now where you feel this divine partnership is present, is manifesting, but there's a tangible blocker to it. For the other half of the feminine, this is moving right now into a space of partnership, only looking for partnership right now, cutting off any communication that you feel is not aligned to these divine partnerships right now. But regardless of where you are, whether you are cutting off connection that isn't leading to this union while manifesting this right now, or if you feel that this union is here right now and you cannot necessarily connect to it, you are distracting yourself with your immediate enjoyment, with the energy around you, be it friends, be it associates, just doing things to make yourself feel joy, making yourself feel happiness, to kind of counteract either the blockage that you're currently having right now to distract yourself from this energy and moving towards your pleasure, knowing that it's going to bring you to that divine partnership by continuing to generate that joy for yourself right now, or feeling like that partnership is pretty much imminent right now and not being able to make union with it and just enjoying yourself at the time, just enjoying yourself right now in this space. Well, for masculine energy right now, this is hilarious. For masculine energy right now, what we're seeing here is there's a blockage. There's a blockage on your part. There's a blockage. You are having a tangible problem right now, being able to manifest what you want on a practical space. You see it right there on the other side of the glass. And for masculine energy right now, there is something here that's coming through that is making you still feel like either, and again, for some of the masculine energy right now, this is feeling some of that frustration and just trying to enjoy yourself right now in the faith, just trying to focus on the positive, focus on the energy around you right now to kind of counteract the blockage that you're feeling here. Or there's something right here with masculine coming through right now about being able to feel like there is, and especially if this is something that is very tangible for you right now, that even though there is a blockage right now, you are still feeling this point of celebration. You are still feeling like there is some celebration that is imminent here, even with the presence of the blockage, because there's something here about the energies around you, especially with all of this feminine energy coming up positive right now, that makes you feel like there is a cause for celebration, even if there's something that's practically blocking you right now from being able to enjoy things or celebrate to the degree that you would ideally desire right now. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Between, here is that retrograde shade. Here is that retrograde shade that we're talking about. That shade between the Two of Wands in its reversal and the Three of Wands in its reversal. So when I say the blockage, I talk about the blockage. There is something that needs to be addressed here. Feminine and masculine both recognize that there is something that needs a bit of clarification, needs to be sorted out, because this isn't looking like a short-term issue. There's something about this not just being a short-term issue, but something about the long-term possibilities here, or what this actually looks like, how to correct this moving forward. May I please have a clarity on this communication, planning, perspective blockage? Wheel of Fortune in its reversal. Wheel of Fortune in its reversal. This is feeling like some frustrating energy. There's something here that needs to be sorted out. This is that higher moment. There's something here, and what we're really seeing is there's almost a feeling right now that's very intriguing. Anything that's stopping you right now from moving into these like higher unions is now becoming a karmic blockage. There's almost something here that is recognizing that says, I need to adjust this because this is now not aligned to my path. It's not the fact that whatever this was before was aligned to your path, but it certainly isn't now. Anything that's creating the blockage is now something that is being looked at to see if they can be cleared, a hurdle that can be cleared, because this is the only thing that feels like it could waylay this entire thing right now. So there is a lot of anxiety and observation that both masculine and feminine are looking at right now, to see how this can be corrected so that things can start moving like in the way they almost feel fated to move. Like this is the blocker, and it's a big blocker because it's feeling almost like a karmic or fated blocker that needs to stand to be corrected, or it might mess everything up. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Three of Swords in its reversal in combination with the Empress. We love this energy. 222 people in the room. What we're seeing here is, again, feminine and masculine. It's going to feel a little bit different depending on where you align, bearing in mind that that's not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is a moment. You are sitting pretty. You are feeling that stability. You are finding that stability within you. And you're discovering, light bulb moment, when I'm stable, when you're moving from a place of stability, you are attracting what you want to attract in this moment. You are feeling that stability. You are feeling that activation point in your heart center. That activation point is allowing you to heal. You're recognizing right now for feminine, the path to healing is creating that sense of stability within you because it brings good things towards you right now. While for masculine right now, there is a moment of deep healing that is occurring right now, aided and abetted right now by a feminine energy that your attention is drawn to. For masculine, again, maybe even more than one energy. This is either a singular manifestation of energy right now towards you, masculine, that you feel is both grounding and stabilizing, and also someone who is very appealing, attractive, generating a lot of desire towards you at this point. While for some of the masculine energy right now, this is more than one feminine energy around you right now, one that is very stabilizing, one that is very alluring and calling like a lot of attention towards you from a more attractiveness point. And this is what is also helping you heal in this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. Oh my geez Louise, this reading today. What is happening in the collective? We've got Two of Cups on the table and the Lovers. Two of Cups on the table and the Lovers. Again, it's going to hit a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. 4, masculine energy right now. When I say this is healing, I mean this is healing because your attention is very much focused towards these points right now, either a single manifestation of feminine that you find extremely alluring, extremely captivating, extremely attractive, and also either someone who is also stable, has that stability within them. For masculine, this could also be 2 different manifestations of feminine. I will point that out as well. But either way, masculine is feeling that energy of equal give and take. They're feeling that point of reciprocity. They're moving even though there's something that's tangibly potentially blocking you from doing it in the immediate space, masculine, this is something that you feel is imminent, and you're allowing that equal give and take to be the direction that you're moving into right now. Thank you so much for the gift, Witch's Brew. Well, for feminine right now, this is again a moment that you are moving into right now. You are keeping your focus on this, and it will feel different depending on where you fall on the feminine collective right now. For some of the feminine collective, this is simply a moment that you continue to push away anyone that you feel either isn't showing you in some capacity that they can meet you with an equal give and take, because feminine is very stable. They're looking for someone who is equally stable right now, pushing away any energy that does not feel like it's coming through in a stable capacity. And you are okay doing that because you are healing your heart space. You are calling in what you want to call in. And what is feminine trying to call in right now? Equal give and take, equal collaboration, something that feels like it is equal and not settling for anything less right now. While for some of the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is translating as a moment that, again, there may be some partnership or union that is coming towards you right now that is not tangibly able to express itself, but you still feel supported in the fact that it's coming through as a divine union. And this is a space where you are happy, not necessarily taking action, doing nothing but just kind of enjoying the feeling, allowing your heart space to heal, because you feel and recognize that reciprocity, that equal give and take is present. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Empress energy and our Three of Cups energy. So again, a bit different for masculine and feminine depending on where you fall. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is a nice feeling. This is a good feeling you're feeling. Finding this stability within you is making you feel this new degree of comfort. We have seen feminine in High Priestess energy for like the last 2 weeks, which means that the heart space was blocked. You were moving from a space, all logic, all intuition, not anymore. You're coming back into your center. You're grounding back into your energy. You're allowing your heart space to open now because you're finding that point of stability within yourself at this point. And this is a cause of celebration. This is not only creating the space of attracting what you're trying to attract right now to you, but it's also giving you this extra encouragement with the energy around you, finding these moments of joy, finding these moments of celebration, generating these moments of positivity around you right now, because you recognize that they further support you in staying in this vibration. While for masculine energy right now, there is this moment where you have a lot of attention right now. There's a lot of attention right now towards masculine, pointing towards the object of their desire, feeling that there is this like specific, actually for masculine, I will point out, this is talking about a lot of positive energy around you at this moment right now, even though you can't tangibly reach it, maybe even distracting yourself at this moment, but feeling a lot of positivity around you with a lot of orientation around a specific manifestation of feminine right now that is potentially your heart's desire. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, oh my goodness, what is this? What is this doing here? 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 Guys, we're still in the retrograde shadow period. Stop. What is this? Everything is going so well. What is this? I need to talk to all of you. What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay. Okay, it makes sense. This is a Wheel Forge. Okay, all right, let's talk about it. It's fine. Let's get to it. Oh, man. All right, okay. What's happening here? Why is this happening? All right, for masculine and feminine energy, let's talk a little bit about this. What is this situation that we're seeing popping up here? Okay. So for feminine, you are moving right now in this space where you are potentially trying to cut off energy that isn't coming towards you in the way or degree that you would desire, keeping your eye focused on what is positive, what is that divine union energy. We have Two of Cups on the table. Feminine is in this vibration where you're opening your heart space again. I know what's happening. And you're also feeling a lot of this positive energy around you right now, but you're still feeling a little tug. And that's why, you know why? This is exactly why. This is why feminine cut themselves off from their heart space before, right? Because we see here, feminine is still actively healing. Feminine is still actively healing, right? This is what led the feminine to be in their higher intuition space, cutting off the heart space before. So there is that double tug that's happening. There is this moment that as you ground back into your heart space, even as you come in right now, feminine, into this space of enjoying where you are, enjoying what is coming towards you right now, finding that pleasure in the energy around you in this moment, there's still that little tug. There's still that tug, because when you've opened your heart space back up, you also are feeling the call of it to those situations and those circumstances from the past that have caused you pain. So I will point out though, this is that moment that feminine is doing so much important work on their own sense of stability. Because I need to point out here, this is the important thing. This isn't feminine rejecting the feeling, that desire to go back to situations that have caused them pain. But feminine is not moving. Feminine is holding her position as the energy of the Empress, allowing her to feel. That's why the Empress energy's opened up. That's why the heart space is opened up here, but it's not creating a point of instability in the feminine right now. Feminine is feeling stable enough now to open the heart space to allow the new energy in, while simultaneously still feeling that degree of pain or difficulty that the old circumstances caused. This isn't a feminine not acknowledging that they don't still feel called back to things that have hurt them. This is a feminine that recognizes that she can embody both places at once, that she can walk and chew gum, that she can be in a space where she can be celebrating and actively enjoying what's presently happening right now, but also needs, and only way she can do this, if she also finds a way to hold space for those situations and circumstances that still hurt, that still cause pain, that still feel like they are calling her back there. Feminine's not moving. She's allowing herself to fully experience both at the same time. Beautiful work, feminine. Gold star for feminine today. Stay in balance is the key for feminine right now, holding in balance. While for masculine energy, this is going to feel a lot different, very different, because we're pointing out here, this is a bit of a problem moment. Why do I say that? Because masculine, we see here on the table, you recognize that there's this divine union that you're feeling in calling to, that you recognize it here. There's something that is tangibly stopping you from being able to move into that divine union. And what are you doing right now as it relates to the fact that you can't necessarily be in that divine union, even with the recognition of seeing the object of your desire here? Well, you're trying to distract yourself. You're trying to find those moments of enjoying yourself, but you have to be really careful today, masculine. You have to be really careful not to go back to some circumstances and situations that have caused you pain. That may kind of blunder everything that you're working towards right now. We saw the fact that temptation was very much on the table for masculine right now. And what we're really seeing here is this is a moment that masculine has to kind of face some of the situations or habits that they may have had in the past that have caused them to mess things like this up for yourself at this moment. And saying, I'm feeling this, you're feeling this tug to go back to some like bad modality, but bad habits, bad circumstances, even in the midst of a lot of positive things, moving in a very positive direction. It's almost like masculine being like, geez, Louise, I can't go back. I can't go do those things I typically do in this moment. It's all right here on the table for me. I can't go back to those things that only hurt me, that might mess this all up. So a word of caution right now for the masculine energy, even as they're moving towards this space, because you are also feeling called right now to some circumstances and situations, but those aren't even necessarily energetic right now. This is a moment, and I actually will see, I will point out, I'm actually seeing two different things that are potentially, that's what's happening right now. Masculine energy, this is what I'm really seeing because I'm seeing a split. I'm seeing a split happening right now. Again, I said there's more than one feminine on the table here right now, masculine. There's more than one feminine potentially on the table for some of the masculine collective here. One of the things that masculine has to be careful of right now is, again, for some of the masculine collective right now, everything is copacetic. I'm actually seeing here that there's some of the masculine collective, all the feminine energy right now around you is good. It's copacetic. Everything is moving according to the way you want it to move. You're recognizing you don't want to do anything that's going to mess that up, that you may have done in the past that messed that up for yourself. For the other half of the masculine collective, there is a moment right now where, again, you've got a lot of attention right now towards a manifestation of feminine that is both definitely attractive, that is both definitely stable, that's definitely got your heart desire, but you're distracting yourself because you can't necessarily get to them. And this might be going back to different energy right now, going back to some things right now because of this point of inability to contact. That's that moment you have to be careful of. For some of the masculine energy, this could be some anxiety around third party energy you have to be wary of. For the other part of the masculine collective, it's not about third party energy. It's about not going back to things that are going to mess up a bunch of people that are okay and good being where they are at this moment. I'm just going to explain that. Let's continue right now in terms of what we're seeing in the cards. Clarification between our Three of Cups in combination with the Wheel of Fortune in its reversal. So this is a moment of stickiness. This is where we're seeing some of that retrograde shade happening, because while there is this moment of celebration right now happening, while there is this moment of feeling a lot of enjoyment, this is a day that's meant based on pleasure. This is finding your pleasure today, while also having to have some consideration to some things that you feel are maybe not in alignment, having to have a recognition on some things that you feel are creating blockages as it relates to your long-term path and your long-term goals. For some of this energy, this could be feeling of some of that tugging in the past of things and situations that have created blockages for you, places that have been kind of karmic dead ends, feeling a bit of that pull even while things are going very well for you at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. We love this. Six of Swords in its reversal. So for both energies, there is this moment of trying. We saw this during the Taurus new moon, trying to shed grief, trying to shed sadness, trying to put down the burdens of the things that have caused you pain, the things that have caused you unsatisfying situations or circumstances. This is having to weigh the grief of things that did not align to your path with the moment of joy and celebration you're coming into in this present experience. You are feeling both moments at once. The call right now is trying to find a way to move forward but also be able to shed some of the grief, some of the sadness, some of the pain that you're still feeling around these things that did not work out the way that you had ideally desired them to, even while experiencing a moment of celebration in this present space. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between the Two of Cups in combination with the Seven of Swords. The Two of Cups in combination with the Seven of Swords. Having a moment today of, again, this is that moment of having to feel the tug, but also feeling the new experiences. Putting a lot of attention right now on equal partnerships, on equal union, on what that looks like, what that feels like, while also feeling potentially right now the tug on some situations and scenarios that have caused you some pain in the past. This may even be a reassessment point that some of you are having to feel around partnerships from the past, asking yourself, is there a space for those to be equal, or are those spaces that have only caused pain? Having to observe either this being a threat to current unions right now, in feeling some of that tug to past situations and past scenarios, or having to experience a moment where you are feeling some equal partnership energy coming in right now, while simultaneously still feeling the pull to some situations and circumstances from the past that have only caused you pain, and having to assess those feelings as you experience them. Empress card, and it's upright. May I please have one card to clarify, two cards to clarify, why not? Magician in combination with the Temperance card in its reversal. There is a feeling of time being up, of needing things to move now. This is it. This is, like I said, this is one of those situations where it's like looking at some partnerships and situations and saying, I need to see them now in the present. I need to see what they need to be actively happening. So for some of the energy right now, there's a moment, especially if these have to do with old partnerships. If this is a consideration point around old partnerships, there is a moment right now that is simply saying time is up. Time is up. I need to see activity on them. You need to see some kind of movement of productivity, because you are in the middle of manifesting something better for yourself right now. So this could be an orientation point where you simply either say about some of those past situations, time's up. I've given them all the space and place I need not to cause pain. They're not coming forward. I'm going to be creating something new for myself. I'm going to be manifesting those divine partnerships. I'm going to be manifesting those equal partnerships for myself, forgetting the past because I am not willing to wait. While for some of this is a moment, again, similarly, that you are feeling the tug of the past situations, present, immediate opportunities for partnership right now, and basically saying, I'm not going to wait. There's no waiting. It doesn't matter if I still feel a connection. I'm not waiting because I'm moving towards what is happening now, what is presently happening, not something that's hurting me from the past that I don't see in evidence. Masculine and feminine energy. Love to see it. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Seven of Swords in combination, and this is what we're doing this right now, because what we're really seeing here is this is a moment that there is a point of recognition. It is not that you're not allowing yourself to feel the fact that you are feeling pulled to situations and circumstances from the past that have only caused you pain. But this is that moment that you're also facing to yourself. This is the decision point. For some of you, this is a question. For some of you, this is a decision. For some of you, this is a moment that's saying, I'm looking at some situations from the past that have caused me pain. I'm asking if there's any way to go back to them without them having that pain. While for some of you, this is a decision of you saying, I am looking at some experiences from the past that have only caused me pain. I'm not going back to them. I'm only trying to move forward right now and find a way that they will stop hurting. May I please have the card to clarify what is the decision point on that? Clarification coming right now. Path of least resistance. Path of least resistance is what we're really seeing. The answer to whether these are situations or circumstances that have caused you pain that you're considering going back to from a point of healing, or if these are situations that have caused you pain that you're looking for a pathway forward on right now that isn't going to hurt as much, is whether there's even a possibility of going back to them, whether they're open to you, or whether you feel that these are blockages that you would have to fight against. For the part of the collective right now that is looking at these right now, and they're looking at these circumstances and situations from the past, if you're looking at a circumstance and situation from the past right now, and you're trying to find a way forward that is not causing grief, you may potentially go back to it today if you feel that there is an ability to do so. If you feel like you know that the other person on the other side is open and willing and vulnerable to try to do that work with you right now. While for the other part of the collective right now, this is a moment that you're basically saying, I'm not going back to the places of path that have only hurt me. I'm trying to find a way forward, because I'm not going to sit there and try to fight to get into something that has only led me to be hurt. I'm not going to go, it's not just about going back to the sword store. It's saying, I sure as hell am not going to go banging on the door of a sword store, demanding to be let in to something that has only caused me pain. If you're feeling that right now, you're saying, forget it. I'm moving on. I just need to find a way to heal from this and not carry the pain of it right now. While for the other energy right now, this is a moment, if you have some moment of accepting that this energy is open and vulnerable to it, you may be looking for pathways back right now from which you can heal. It all depends on how much of a fight it would be to get into that energy. Final card for today's spread is, wow, and what cards they are. Look at this combination. This is about moving with the flow. This is about manifestation. This is coming into your manifestation power right now, because we see that what is happening in this moment is that you are being able to manifest what you are truly desiring to manifest for yourself in this moment. And that is recognizing right now that the path for manifestation for you is one that requires you to act right now in the present, not to delay action, to take the steps that you need right now towards those spaces and places that have the least resistance, that do not require you to push against things to bring your manifestation into being, but instead accepting and acknowledging that a part of the act of manifestation isn't about fighting against what is presently happening, but moving in alignment with what is happening so that the current reality can help you manifest what you are trying to manifest for yourself, not being the fish trying to swim up the stream, but using the stream to help expedite what you're trying to manifest for yourself in this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Oh my God. 2 cards to clarify. Wow. 2 cards to clarify. Wow. 2 cards to clarify this right now. And it is going to slap different depending on whether you align to feminine and masculine energy right now in a big way. For masculine right now, this is that moment that you are recognizing that you are doing everything you can to manifest what it is that you're trying to manifest. We see here, masculine, you've got some tangible hurdles right now, some tangible hurdles in your day-to-day life that you are trying to resolve for yourself right now. And you are recognizing that you need to do it quickly because you need to be able to not have to have such a fight in order to get towards this feminine energy. Because you're recognizing right now that there is an alignment point potentially happening with you and the feminine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. But if you don't do something, it could lead to catastrophe. That if you don't make some immediate changes to things, if you don't manifest this change quickly, if you don't make it so much of a struggling point to get in connection with this energy, you are literally worried that you're going to create a catastrophe around this connection to this feminine. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you are moving into your manifestation power. You have balanced the masculine and feminine energy within yourself right now. And you are having this moment right now where you are actively manifesting what you're trying to manifest for yourself in the spaces and places that are the path of least resistance. Why? Because feminine has learned something about the importance of manifesting in alignment with what is coming towards them, with the energy that is not intimidated, with the power that they're creating and harnessing right now. Because when feminine tries to move against the flow, when feminine tries to push things against things, as opposed to moving things in the direction that they're going into, feminine has recognized that it potentially creates some point of catastrophe for them. Feminine is working right now and putting a point of recognition and saying, I am choosing right now to stay balanced and not to move into places and spaces that I have to push against, because when I have to push against them, it creates catastrophe. It creates problems for me. I'm not doing that anymore. This is a moment of feminine having a point of assessment in their own powers of manifesting and saying, I'm not going to create chaos with my power. I'm going to utilize my manifestation powers right now to align me in what is moving in the direction that I am moving into, instead of welcoming in chaos at my door by trying to pull something in that is not aligned to me. Bottom of the deck on this incredible reading today is: have you recently gone through a transformation cycle that is reaching a point of conclusion, but you are feeling like that point of conclusion has been a little difficult in coming to a conclusion point? This is that point of conclusion. This is what is allowing that cycle to come to a point of ending. There is a shedding process. We've been seeing this here. There is an energetic shedding for feminine, and this is about, what are we seeing here? It is about shedding what is not in alignment to you. Feminine is realizing and recognizing it in a big way right now as it relates to the energy that they're trying to pull towards them right now. Feminine is recognizing right now they don't want to pull in energy that has caused them pain. They don't want to manifest that energy back into their life if it's just going to create chaos. That is the point of the closing out of the cycle here for the feminine, because feminine's still feeling pulled to some of that energy, even though it has caused them pain to some degree that required them to go into a space or place of healing. While for masculine right now, this is you trying to avoid creating circumstances right now in your own life that is potentially going to push a feminine energy away from you that you are trying to manifest right now, because of some of the circumstances in your own life that may require connection that you fear may push this feminine energy away. Cycles are being closed out right now. Feminine, it is coming into recognizing the energy you want to attract and allow towards you right now. While for masculine, this is making some deep changes in your own personal life, and more importantly, masculine, in your own personal choices, so that you don't ruin something with someone you would consider potentially to be a higher divine partner. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please remember that when you book a reading on my website, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Thank you for the gift. Please make sure that you hit both buttons so that we can have our reading. Also, most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever reach out to you for a reading. I will never PM you. I will never DM you. I will never tell you in an email or a message that your great grand cousin asked me to reach out to you with a very important message. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you go to my website and you schedule a reading. So please go ahead and do that. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.